you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm good, thank you. Um, Brilliant. Today it looks like we will be looking at a lesson on daily routines.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So, today's lesson, we will be looking at routines. We will learn and practice some adverbs to describe our
Mm-hmm.
routines. We will practice some speaking to look
Yeah.
at sequences and speaking fluently about daily life. Good. So let's get started.
Yeah.
Okay. So routines are things that you do every day. Let's start by talking about your morning routine. What time do you wake up?
It depends. Like it's a holiday or what. If it's a school day, I'll wake up at 7 o'clock, like max, or before that, 6:30 and 7 o'clock a.m.
Perfect. What are some things that you do before you go to work or school?
After waking up, I usually groom myself, but like if I say a day before going to school, I usually complete my homework that's been pending. I usually learn for my tests that are going to be taken after like the day.
Good. Um, do you eat or drink anything in the morning? What do you have and where?
Usually I have breakfast and I drink milk and some cookies to go with it.
Very good. And what's your favorite thing to do in the morning?
It's a contradictory question. A favorite thing would be I can think of it right now, but yeah, like grooming myself up. That would be
Yeah, fair enough. Good. Okay, can you read this out loud for me?
definitely. I always wake up at 6 in the morning. First, I get ready for work. Second, I go to my favorite cafe and drink a cappuccino. Next, I check my email at the coffee shop. Finally, I walk to my office.
Good. So this is her routine in the morning, and she's used sequential words to show the order she does things in. So those are first, second, next, finally. They show the orders that she did things in.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I'm going to read to you about a morning routine. See if you can remember when I did things.
Hmm.
Okay. First, I wake up early, get out of bed, and brush my teeth. Then I wash my face and have a shower. After that, I get dressed. Next, I make breakfast, usually some toast and coffee. I eat breakfast and read the paper. Finally, I grab my bag and leave for work. Okay, so this was what I just said. Can you remember what order I did things in?
You wake up early, you brush your teeth, then you wash yourself up, then you drink coffee, and then finally you go to work.
Good. Well done. Okay, so let's look at some clarity. We're looking at sequences. In this lesson, you have already read, heard, and used adverbs for sequences. This just means that you used words to tell when something happens in a routine. So we've looked at numbers like first, second, third. We've used words that are next in sequence. After that, next, then. And we've also seen one word we use to end a sequence, the word finally. Okay,
Yeah.
so can you use Jen for some inspiration and practice using some of these words for this?
Okay. Like I'm talking by like being Jen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. First, I wake up early and then make breakfast. Second, I take kids to school. Third, I walk outside. And finally, I teach on Cambly.
Brilliant. Good. Those are all good uses.
Thanks.
Okay, so here is some vocabulary. So we have the word always, always, which means every time, something that happens every time. For
Yeah.
example, I always drink coffee in the morning. What do you always do in the morning?
I always like eat cookies and milk before going to school.
Very good. Well done. Okay, here is another word. The word is usually. Usually, which means most of the time. So, not always, but most of the time. So, after work, I usually go to the gym. What do you usually do after work or school?
After school, I usually sleep or like for a like power nap for 1 hour 30 minutes.
Brilliant. Well done. We have another word. The word is sometimes. Sometimes. So, not always, not as much as usually, but sometimes. Sometimes my team gets takeout. What do you do sometimes, but not always?
Well, I sometimes like uh, uh, go to school late. Not usually, but sometimes.
Good. Okay, and then we have the opposite of that, which is never, not at all, do not do. So, for example, a vegetarian never eats meat. What is something you never eat?
I never eat. Um, it's a hard choice. I have to think of something. I don't think so. It's something I don't ever eat. I usually eat all the things, but yeah, I usually eat all the things. I can't
Well,
think of
that's
anything.
good. It's good if you like everything and can eat everything, then that's a good thing. Brilliant. All right, don't worry about it. So good. That's the word
Mm,
never. Okay, so looking at these activities, can you say whether you always, usually, sometimes, or never do them?
I sometimes exercise outside. I always eat breakfast. I usually take a bath. I never work from home. I sometimes meet friends. I sometimes ride a bike.
Very good. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay. So here is another activity. We're going to listen for what someone usually does after work. Okay. In the evening, I finish work and come home. I always walk my dog. Then I usually prepare dinner. But sometimes I get delivery or eat with friends at a restaurant. After eating, I usually watch Netflix, but sometimes read a book instead. I always drink hot tea and I usually fall asleep around 11. Okay, so here is what I said. So what did I say that I usually do?
You usually walk your dog, you usually watch Netflix, and you usually fall asleep around 11.
Very good. Well done. Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay, so sentence stress is how much force different words are given in a spoken sentence. In English, more stress goes on words that give important information and less on the other words. Let's practice stressing some important words in these sentences. So, the first one is I eat lunch. Can you put the stress on eating lunch?
I on eat. I have to put stress on eat.
I eat lunch. Just say it quite clearly, I think should be good enough for that.
I eat lunch.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. I eat lunch at a restaurant.
I eat lunch at a restaurant at 3 o'clock.
Good. And then I always eat lunch at a restaurant at 3 o'clock.
I always eat lunch at a restaurant at 3 o'clock.
Brilliant. Well done. So, do you understand the idea of stress?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So, um, we'll skip that for a second. So, we're running out of time. Brilliant. Okay. So, use the questions to get started. Practice talking about what you do and asking follow up questions. So, for
Okay.
instance, what do you do on the weekends?
On the weekend, I usually go out with my friends for exercising.
Good, me too. Do you enjoy exercising?
Well, yeah, if I'm with my friends, definitely.
Brilliant. Um, okay. What do you do when you see your friends and family?
I usually greet them and talk about the how the life is going on.
Yeah, very good. And what do you do if you have a long break from work or school, like a holiday?
I I usually, if I have any homework pending, I'll complete that and will study and also will do some rest for all of the stress of the school.
Very good. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
So well done. Today we got through everything. We learned and practiced adverbs, describing routines. We did some
Mhm.
practice talking about sequence words and stress words. And we also did a bit more practice talking about our daily lives. So well done. Good job.
Thank you.
Brilliant. You understood everything. And it was lovely to see you again. So have a good evening. All right.
Oh, you too. Thank
All
you.
right. Brilliant. We'll say goodbye for now.
Bye.